Most car sellers lose $1,000 to $3,000 on their sale simply because they don't know the specific steps that buyers value most when evaluating used vehicles. According to Kelley Blue Book and automotive resale experts, the difference between a poorly prepared car and a well-prepared one with the same mileage and condition can be 15 to 25% of the vehicle's value. For a $10,000 car, that's $1,500 to $2,500 left on the table. The good news is that most of the preparation that adds the most value costs very little money and mainly requires time and attention to detail. Professional car buyers and dealers know exactly what signals a well-maintained vehicle versus one that's been neglected, and they adjust their offers accordingly. Simple things like having complete service records adds $500 to $1,500 to resale value according to Carfax data. Professional detailing that costs $200 can add $800 to $1,200 in perceived value. Fixing minor cosmetic issues like small dents and paint chips for $300 can increase sale price by $1,000 or more. The key is knowing which improvements provide the best return on investment and which ones waste money. Most sellers make critical mistakes like spending money on expensive modifications that actually decrease value, or neglecting simple fixes that would dramatically improve buyer perception. Keep watching because I'm going to show you the exact step-by-step process to prepare your car for sale, which repairs are worth making, how to present your vehicle to maximize value, and the documentation that serious buyers demand to pay top dollar. Hey, if you like this kind of straight-to-the-point content with no BS, help me out here. Subscribe to the channel right now. It takes 2 seconds and guarantees you won't miss any tips that could save you some serious cash. Let me start with the most important factor that affects resale value: documentation and service history. According to Carfax and automotive resale research, vehicles with complete documented service history sell for $500 to $1,500 more than identical vehicles without records. This is the single highest return on investment item. Because if you already have the records, it costs nothing. Here's why documentation matters so much. When a serious buyer evaluates your vehicle, they're trying to answer one question: was this car maintained properly? Without service records, they assume the worst. They assume oil changes were skipped, maintenance was deferred, and problems were ignored. With complete records, you prove the vehicle was cared for, dramatically reducing their perceived risk. What counts as good documentation? Oil change receipts showing regular intervals. Major service records like timing belt replacement or transmission service at recommended mileage, repair receipts for any work done, and tire replacement records. Organize these chronologically in a folder or binder. Create a simple one-page summary listing all major services with dates and mileage. This professional presentation signals that you're a meticulous owner. If you don't have physical receipts, contact the shops where you had work done and request copies. Many shops keep digital records going back years. If you did oil changes yourself, you obviously don't have shop receipts, but you can create a simple log showing dates and mileage when you changed oil, along with receipts for oil and filters purchased. The second critical documentation item is a pre-sale inspection from an independent mechanic. This costs $100 to $150, but can add $500 to $1,000 to your sale price. Here's why it works. When you provide a recent independent inspection report, you remove the buyer's biggest fear: hidden problems. They know a mechanic has looked at the vehicle and documented its condition. Any issues found are disclosed up front, which builds trust. Buyers will still do their own inspection, but starting with your inspection report puts them at ease and positions your vehicle as transparent and well-maintained. Get the inspection within 2 weeks of listing the car so it's current. Ask the mechanic to provide a written report, not just a verbal assessment. Third documentation item is the vehicle history report. Run a Carfax or AutoCheck report on your own vehicle before listing it. This costs $30 to $40, but prevents surprises. You'll see what buyers will see, including any accident history, title issues, or odometer discrepancies. If the report is clean, include it with your listing. If it shows problems, at least you know what you're dealing with and can address concerns proactively. Never try to hide problems that appear on the history report, because buyers will run it themselves. Now, let me explain which physical improvements provide the best return on investment. The number one highest ROI improvement is thorough cleaning and detailing. A professional detail costs $150 to $300. It can add $800 to $1,500 in perceived value. Here's why this works so powerfully. When buyers see a pristine, clean vehicle, they subconsciously assume it's been well maintained mechanically. The psychology is simple. Someone who keeps their car spotless probably maintained it properly. Conversely, a dirty car signals neglect, even if it's mechanically perfect. For maximum impact, get a full interior and exterior detail including carpet shampooing, leather conditioning, paint correction, and engine bay cleaning. The engine bay is particularly important because many buyers pop the hood, and a clean engine bay suggests meticulous maintenance. If you can't afford professional detailing, do it yourself thoroughly. Vacuum every crevice, clean all surfaces, shampoo carpets and seats, clean windows inside and out, wash and wax exterior, clean wheels and tires, and detail the engine bay. Spend an entire day on it. The second highest ROI repair is paintless dent removal for minor door dings and small dents. PDR typically costs $75 to $150 per dent and can add $300 to $600 in value per dent removed. Small dents and door dings dramatically hurt first impressions. Buyers see them and immediately deduct hundreds of dollars mentally. Removing them costs relatively little and dramatically improves appearance. Similarly, touch-up paint for small chips and scratches costs $20 to $50 DIY and improves perception significantly. You can buy touch-up paint matched to your vehicle's paint code from the dealer or online. Carefully apply it to chips and scratches, following instructions. Third worthwhile repair is replacing worn wiper blades, burnt-out bulbs, and fixing minor trim issues. New wiper blades cost $20, bulbs cost $10 to $20 each, and trim clips cost a few dollars. These tiny investments signal attention to detail. When everything works and looks right, buyers notice. Fourth, address tire condition. If your tires are worn below 4/32 tread depth or are mismatched brands, replace them. New tires cost $400 to $800 for a set, but can add $800 to $1,500 to sale price. Buyers know they'll need tires immediately and factor that cost into their offer. Good matching tires remove that objection. If tires are decent but dirty, clean them thoroughly and apply tire shine. Now let me explain what not to spend money on, because these things hurt value rather than help. First, do not make aftermarket modifications thinking they add value. Lowered suspension, aftermarket wheels, loud exhaust, body kits, and performance modifications actually decrease value for most buyers because they signal the car was driven hard and potentially abused. Return the vehicle to stock if possible, or accept that modifications will hurt resale. The only exception is if you're selling to an enthusiast market that specifically wants those mods. Second, don't spend money on major mechanical repairs unless they're safety critical or prevent the car from running. If your engine needs a $2,000 repair, you won't get $2,000 more for the car. You're better off disclosing the issue and pricing accordingly, or selling as is to someone who can fix it cheaper. Third, don't repaint entire panels or do expensive bodywork unless damage is severe. Minor touch-ups are worth it, but spending $1,500 on a new bumper won't return that investment. Fourth, don't replace the interior if it's just worn. Worn seats and steering wheel are normal for high-mileage vehicles. Buyers expect it. Now let me explain how to price and market your vehicle for maximum value. Research comparable vehicles in your area using Kelley Blue Book, Edmunds, and actual listings on AutoTrader, Cars.com, and Craigslist. Look at vehicles with similar year, mileage, condition, and features. Note asking prices and sold prices if available. Price your vehicle at the higher end of the range if it's well documented and detailed, but be realistic. Overpricing by thousands of dollars just means your listing sits while the car depreciates. Create an excellent listing with high-quality photos. Take at least 20 photos in good lighting showing exterior from all angles, interior from multiple angles, engine bay, trunk, undercarriage if clean, close-ups of any features, and odometer reading. Write a detailed, honest description including year, make, model, mileage, service history highlights, recent work done, condition notes, reason for selling, and asking price. Be honest about flaws. Disclosing issues builds trust, and serious buyers appreciate transparency. Meet potential buyers in safe public locations during daylight. Have all documentation organized and ready. Let them inspect thoroughly and test drive. Be prepared to negotiate, but know your bottom line. Accept reasonable offers from serious buyers rather than holding out for unrealistic prices. One final critical point. Timing matters. Sell before major mileage milestones like 100,000 miles because crossing that threshold significantly hurts value. Sell convertibles and sports cars in spring and summer when demand is highest. Sell four-wheel drive vehicles and trucks in fall before winter. Sell before registration and inspection expire so buyers don't immediately face those costs. So here's the bottom line. To maximize resale value, focus on documentation with complete service records, pre-sale inspection, and vehicle history report. Invest in thorough detailing, minor dent repair, and good tires if needed. Avoid expensive modifications and major repairs that don't return their cost. Price realistically based on research, create excellent listings with great photos, and be honest about condition. These steps can add $1,500 to $3,000 to your sale price with minimal investment, but they require effort and attention to detail most sellers skip.